Welcome to Her Handmade Hustle Unplugged, a podcast for all women with a creative business who want to learn more about how to make money doing something they love. I'm Joanne Pearce, a female entrepreneur myself, 15 years experience running my own handmade stationery business, Vintage Twee. I'm an established seller on two of the biggest handmade marketplaces, so I've got a whole load of advice to share about how to start and run your own successful creative business. I'm also a wife and a mother, so I get the struggles of trying to do it all while you're raising a family. It's hard. Alongside running Vintage Twee, I'm also a mentor for other women like me who desperately want to work for themselves but just need that bit of support to get going and get their business dream off the ground. I'm a friendly northerner, I'm open and honest with a huge heart and a real fighting spirit, and I'm living proof that you can achieve anything that you set your mind to, even in the face of adversity. This podcast celebrates the selflessness, strength, and resilience of women in business. So if you're ready to ditch the 9 to 5 and learn how to start your own successful creative business, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Her Handmade Hustle Unplugged podcast. I am so glad you are here. Now, if you hate social media, you are going to love this episode, right? We are ranting today. Oh yeah, we're letting off some steam. Because if you're fed up of feeling the pressure of having to post certain things on social media, because it seems like every other man and his dog are doing it, and you're worried that if you don't do it, you're going to miss out on some life-changing thing that's going to bring you fame and stardom and skyrocket your business's success, then you can stop worrying. Seriously. Okay, today we are talking about some of the things that you'll see on your feed on a daily basis from other people, other businesses, that make you feel like that you should be doing it too. Anything really, from trends to general conversation topics, the stuff that comes up as you're scrolling and makes you think, I should be doing that too. Even if it annoys you or you don't want to do it. Well, you'll be glad to know that I'm going to be telling you today exactly why I don't do any of these things. And more importantly, which ones, so that you can hopefully feel better about not doing them yourself. Because it's a real pressure, isn't it? Like, we shouldn't have to feel like this about our businesses. Like, they are ours. And I, for one, am refusing to be a sheep and follow the herd if it's not something that I would usually say or do. Plus, it sometimes just feels really good to have a rant, doesn't it? In fact, I've been doing a lot of ranting this weekend as I am suffering from severe sugar withdrawal. So I joined Slimming World last week in an attempt just to shift this post-operative weight that I've piled on in the last 18 months. And oh my God, have I been snappy. It seems like all I've been able to think about since making this step towards this positive change is sweet and sour chicken. Like, honestly, I have been really grumpy about it. It's just because I can't have it anymore, or not for the foreseeable future. So I thought it was the perfect week to unleash my frustrations and help you out a little bit with some tips and advice on what not to say or do on social media when it comes to your business. Now, obviously, this is just my opinion. This is how I feel. I'm probably undoubtedly going to offend a few people in this podcast episode because I'm sure, he might have done one or even all of the things that I'm about to talk about. And that's absolutely fine. This is a bit of a laugh also. But this is just my opinion on how I feel about these trends and things that are going around Instagram. So I've narrowed it down, okay, to my top 5 Instagram hates. I know, right? Just 5. I thought I best not do any more or I might never stop. But no, these are the ones that really stand out to me as the ones to avoid for various reasons. It could be that they make you look unprofessional as a small business owner. It could be that they pose a risk and could harm your business without you even realising it, to your brand or your individuality. Or it could just be that they are so annoying and you can seriously put people off from engaging with you or even buying from you. Now, like I said, you might have already done a couple of these yourselves. Don't worry, I'm not innocent either. I know I have definitely done at least one of these on my list. But I am not doing them anymore because I fear that if I join the sheep and I follow the herd, then I'm going to be putting my business at risk. Like taking it like a lamb to the slaughter. Yeah. And I don't want that for you either. So let's dive in. Let's get straight to the first thing that you will ever find me doing on social media. And that is apologizing for not being on social media. Yeah. You know those posts you see where people are like, oh, I'm so sorry that I haven't posted anything this week, or I'm really sorry that I've been quiet this past month. And then they go on to explain the reason why. Like they're up in front of a jury and they feel the need to justify their actions so people find them not guilty of neglecting their social media following or something ridiculous. And the main things that I see people apologising for when they don't show up on socials are, number one, they've not had the time. Number two, that they've been feeling deflated, they've had a lack of sales or engagement and they just not wanted to post, And number three, they've been on holiday, right? They are the three most common reasons that I see for people apologising for not being on social media. Well, first of all, you shouldn't be apologising for any of these reasons, especially number three. We don't get many holidays being self-employed, so you certainly don't have to apologise for it. In fact, it's actually better not posting while you're on holiday anyway, because it just pisses people off, doesn't it, when they see a photo of you on the beach, let's be honest. Keep those pictures to yourself, yeah? But seriously, the other two reasons that you are apologising for, that is not having the time to post and feeling deflated about your slow sales or the fact people aren't engaging with you. So what's the point? Well, it speaks volumes to your followers and your potential customers, even if you set out with the intention of just making a small statement or whatever. What those things say to me, as a potential customer, say, or an admirer at least, who is following you and watching what you're posting and you're doing, it's totally different. For example, let's say I read a post with someone apologising profusely to people for not having the time to post. Then I immediately think one of two things. I think either, number one, that they are boasting about how busy they've been, which can really get people's backs up, especially if other businesses are struggling and they're wondering why they aren't this busy too. That can be really demotivating, can't it? When people plaster all over social media that they've been so busy. It can really make you think, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not busy? And I'm sure for some people it's genuine, but a lot of the time it can be totally made up. And actually, that person has been sat rocking in a corner for a week because they haven't made one sale. Which brings me on to the other thing that people apologise for when they've been quiet on social media. That they've been feeling deflated because sales have been low and no one ever sees their posts, so it's totally pointless spending time putting anything on there. Well, join the club. No one sees any of our bloody posts. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be honest with your audience. Of course you should. But when you have your own business, you got to leave Debbie Downer at home. Don't ruin your feed with negativity. If you are pissed off, then just don't post at all. Go on strike. That's what I did. I refused to put anything on there for like 2 weeks or something. I just had enough. You don't need to announce to the world how you're feeling because it looks unprofessional. And also, it's just a part of being self-employed. A huge part, in fact. There are days, weeks, sometimes months when you get no sales. And you just have to tighten the purse strings and you have to roll with it. I recently did a talk to, it was over 800 female students at an academy. And they were like 11 to 16 years old. And it was for their careers week. And it was all about entrepreneurship. This teacher had approached me. And yes, he asked me to do this talk. So at the end of the talk, the teacher in charge, he opened up the floor for questions. It's like a Q&A session. And I was thinking, oh, shit, this could be dangerous. Like, what are they going to ask me? And you know what? It was dangerous, right? Anyway, I had a couple of typical questions fired at me, such as, how hard does it start a business? To which I replied, well, anyone can start a business, but it's keeping it going, which is a tricky bit. And then, just as I thought I was off the hook, Buddy Anita from Form 8B pipes up, how much money do you make? I mean, talk about straight to the point. So obviously panicked momentarily, and then I thought, okay, I'm going to do what I always do and be honest here. I've got all these eyeballs on me. I'm just going to have to be honest because this is what these girls want to hear. They want to hear a realistic view of working for yourself. So I said to Anita in Form 8B, I said, well, Anita, it's very unpredictable. That some weeks you make absolutely nothing. Cue their gasps of horror, seriously. I said, and you're on beans on toast every day. I said, and the next week, you've made £1,000 in 5 days and you're treating yourself to all kinds of shit because you feel like Victoria Beckham, you know? You're ordering your MAC makeup, some fancy clothes, rather than Tesco's usual everyday essentials range for once. Maybe get yourself some new cushions for the sofa, treat yourself to a takeaway coffee every day. I mean, I don't know if I put these kids off when I told them this. I'm really hoping not. But I said to them, I said, that's the beauty of being self-employed. There's no cap or limit on what you can earn. It's down to you. And if you work hard enough, you're going to reap the rewards. So yes, don't tell your followers and your fans what you're sick of because it's not going to do your business any favours. It's what you signed up for when you decided to work for yourself. And you've got to ride these waves day in and day out. So instead of complaining about it, embrace it. I love it when I see a post or a reel from a small business owner who shows a screenshot of their website or their Etsy shop with 0 sales in the past 7 days. And they're still bouncing around the screen saying that this is okay. Next week is another week. And it's all part of running a business. It's just honest, isn't it? And that's something that really resonates with me. So what do I do when I see these kind of posts? I engage with them. I like it. I share it. I comment on it, which is what the people who are moaning about their lack of sales and their dwindling motivation are hoping for. They want exactly that thing, but they're not getting it. So don't do it. Switch it on its head instead, and you will gain yourself so much more respect, I promise you. Okay, so the next thing that people say on social media, which drives me utterly insane and makes me want to vomit, if I'm honest, and I'm so sorry if you've done this one because it's a popular one and a lot of my followers and small business owner friends have, and that is pack an order with me, make a scrapbook with me, design a custom order with me, like whatever it is that ends in with me. It really makes me cringe. Now, I never normally say that word because it's become my daughter's most used word of late, second place to bugger, which she's been saying since she was 2 years old and has never stopped saying it like people said that she would if we just ignored her. Anyway, yes, it's cringe. I can't bear it. It just screams annoying trend to me. And I see so much of it on my Instagram feed. And yes, I do believe it's important to show people the process behind the business, how you make stuff, whatever it is that you want people to do with you. But I also think that there are much more creative ways to do this. And by doing what everyone else is doing and presenting it in a way that everyone else is in this stupid format, sorry, this one just really does annoy me, you're showing 0 creativity and 0 originality. And what do I look for in a small business when I'm wanting to purchase something they've created? Both of these things. I want creativity. I want originality. And yes, it's hard thinking of new ways to sell yourself. But we don't just have to copy everyone else because that's not what having a business is about. You have to be different to stand out. Your business is about you, and you are what makes you get seen and ultimately converts people from those followers and fans to buyers. How do I think of these different ideas you're saying, aren't you? Well, there's a couple of good ways that you can do this. For a start, you can chat GPT it, yeah? You can ask this pretty useful AI tool for some ideas for your social media content. It's totally free. Just type it in and see what it spews out. I mean, bloody hell, it's all my husband Dave talks about at the moment. I ask him a question like, oh, can you think of something different that we can have for tea this week? And he's like, hang on, let me chat GPT it. Like, seriously. Anyway, you could do that. You could also speak to friends, you could speak to colleagues, family, if they are supportive, and ask them for some ideas. Like, how would they do it? I like to ask one of my close friends for business advice. Yes, see, I need it too. Because she always has these great ideas. And she's really creative and has that kind of mind. So it helps sometimes just to run stuff by her, and she just gives me a different take on it. So try and be as original as you can, because if you want to stand out in this oversaturated online world, you're going to have to be unique. And the only guaranteed way to do this is just by being you. That's it. There's no other you. So while we're on the subject of following the crowd and doing what everyone else is doing, so you have some half-assed social media content, the third most annoying thing that people do on Instagram, which puts me off clicking on that link in their bio to find out more about them, is when they say, I had to jump on this trend. No, you didn't. You didn't have to do anything. You wanted to do it. You wanted to spend a good 3 hours telling ChatGPT to make you into an action figure. You really wanted to line up your family members and do a synchronized dance to the camera in your kitchen, which has absolutely nothing to do with your business whatsoever. Well, the good news is, going viral is no longer seen as helping your business. My attitudes towards it have totally changed. I was reading an article on Hootsuite, which is a really good website, by the way, and has a good blog with some great articles all about social media patterns. And they were saying that it's no longer about chasing random and fleeting moments of virility. In fact, it's actually a pretty ineffective and inauthentic marketing approach. I mean, nothing kills a brand faster than trying to imitate what other brands are doing. Now, that's not to say you can't wisely tap into certain trends to help with your visibility. Of course, you absolutely can, and you should. But do it in a way that is suitable for your audience. Like, that is the key. I mean, nobody wants to see you twerking in your kitchen unless you're a stripper. So keep it relevant. Hootsuite actually said that in 2025, brands are going to be striving for smaller scale, audience-focused virility to achieve goals more effectively. So what does that mean? Well, it means that you don't need to worry about piggybacking on these sometimes ridiculous social media trends, because it's not what your real customers want. Yes, they can be entertaining, and that's fine, like I said, if it's relevant, and it's few and far between. But take that pressure off yourself and focus on what it is you think your audience want to see, rather than what everyone else is doing for their audience. Honestly, you will reduce your workload and your anxiety by like 90%, I'm telling you, okay? Just try it. So the thing that really irritates me on social media, and is something that you'll never, ever, ever find me saying, is this: slide into my DMs. Ugh, I absolutely hate this one. Now, in case you're listening and you haven't seen this one, or you don't know what the hell it means, well, it's basically just what people say if they want someone to send them a direct message on Insta. It's like simple as that. It's a call to action. Yeah. So an instruction at the end of a post, giving the reader an action to take with an aim to basically get them to do whatever it is that you're asking. So loads of people use this one. I personally just think it sounds really wrong. It just makes my skin crawl when I see it pop up on someone's feed. If I was interested in checking out someone's course, maybe about how they're going to make me earn 6 figures in a month, which they can't, by the way. God, I'm going to get in trouble for this episode, aren't I? Then, as soon as I saw that phrase, slide into my DMs, I'd just keep on scrolling. Like, you've lost me. Like, what's wrong with a little bit of old-fashioned manners and just keeping it real and genuine? I would never say, slide into my DMs, my best friend or my sister or my husband, much to his disappointment. People who know me so well. So why on earth would I say it to a whole audience of strangers who I am trying to get to know me on that real, authentic level? It just doesn't make sense to me. Fair play, right? If you would say it to your best mate or your sister or your husband, then yeah, go for it by all means. But if it's not you, don't do it. It just sounds weird. The thing with connecting with people on social media is that you have to turn a blind eye to whatever you see everyone else doing and saying. It's a bit like what I was saying before about the sheep mentality, isn't it? And you just have to be you. So I'll give you an example. So let's say I'm putting together a post about, I don't know, my mentoring sessions. So I write it in my tone. I'm speaking as if I would to someone that I knew well. be me whilst giving you all the information that you need to know about how I can help you. And you're feeling inspired and you're thinking it's something that you want because you're connecting with me. And the fact that I understand how you're feeling, your boss is pissing you off in your current 9 to 5, you're feeling trapped and you're scared of making a move and doing it alone. You don't know where to start. You don't feel confident. You've got imposter syndrome. You've got too many ideas. All that, I know. I've been there. And then right at the end, I finish my lovely, authentic post with, if you want more information on how I can help you, slide into my DMs. Well, that just doesn't fit with everything else that you've just read, does it? It feels disconnected to the rest of the narrative, and it doesn't match the person behind this honest post, which you've just invested 5 minutes of your time reading and thinking that they could be the one to help you get your idea off the ground. And it just causes some kind of disruption to the flow. Do you know what I mean? So I guess it's not just I've got beef with that particular phrase, which I know I have, but it's more about using language in your social media communication that represents you and your brand so you don't confuse people. Because this is the kind of thing that raises a red flag with potential customers. It can put them off from buying from you if they don't feel like your language is consistent. So if you're just taking phrases that are trending or bouncing around social media a lot and you're using them because it makes you sound cool, and let's say you're like me and you're not actually that cool, it just doesn't marry up, does it? I know it's hard, always thinking of content and thinking of these bloody call to actions, and it's easier just to put something simple like that. But the most important part of the whole post, actually, you spent 2 hours writing, is the end. The action that you want people to take. And if you don't get that bit right, they are going to keep on scrolling. You've lost them. So, what can you use instead? What else can you say? So, I would think about how you would generally speak at the end of a conversation with someone who you were telling your products and service about. Don't overthink it. So for me, I would usually say something like, okay, if you want more information, just let me know and I can pop over an email or WhatsApp, whatever's easiest for you. Now, I know that doesn't sound as sexy or as cool as slide into my DMs, but it sounds like me. Yeah, it sounds authentic. It sounds like there's a person behind the keyboard who cares and who has a genuine intention of helping you, rather than trying to just get your email address for the mailing list. So do it now. Have a think about how you would end a conversation with someone who is interested in your products and write it down. Because that is your call to action. No one needs to be sliding in anywhere, right? The best thing that you can ever do is just be you. Be clear, be honest, and don't say anything you wouldn't normally say. I mean, I'll give you a funny example of being 100% honest and frank. So Eden, my 5-year-old, said to me this morning on the way to school, she said, Mummy, can we tell each other some jokes? So I thought, this is going to go down well. So I said, yeah, of course. That's a good idea. Should I go first? And she goes, yes, I'm ready, Mummy, go. So I thought, right, I'm going to tell that dinosaur joke. You know, the one, what do you call a dinosaur with no eyes? You know, a Dithyncosaurus. Yeah, so I thought, she'll get that one. It's nice and easy. So I said to her, Eden, what do you call a dinosaur with no eyes? And she looked at me, a little confused at first. And then she just goes, blind. I mean, she's not wrong, is she? But she didn't try and guess the answer. She didn't give me a load of fluff. She just said it how it was. If he's got no eyes, Mummy, he's blind. Like, never mind, do you think he saw us crap? It was very funny, and it made me laugh thinking about how kids are always 100% themselves with us, aren't they? And that's why we love them. So be the same. Talk how you would normally talk, because you'll get so much more respect for it. And that brings me to the final thing that I see on Instagram a lot, in increasing amounts now as well. And it's something that I really think that you should proceed with caution with if you do decide to do it. Now, this is one that you may have seen before. This is the one I'm guilty of. I'm not going to lie. I did it a while ago with my other business, Vintage Twee, but I haven't done it since. And it goes a bit like this. I don't normally do this, but I need a rant. Or, another way that people say it, it's not like me, this, but I feel it's important to get something off my chest. Now, posts like these always get our attention, don't they? The nosy side of us is dying to know what's pissed them off, and we're thinking, oh, what's happened? What's gone wrong? So what do? We read the post. I do it all the time. Yeah, I am guilty of this. Not actually posting this anymore, but reading these posts. It's like, congratulations, you've got some engagement. People are reading your post and they may interact with you. They probably will. They'll share words of empathy and understanding, and that's going to make you feel a little bit better, which is lovely. And it's nice to have a supportive community around you. Like, yes, we all need that to help lift us up when shit hits the fan. But then, what taste is left in my mouth when I see your posts pop up again? Am I thinking, oh God, there's that angry cow again? I hope she's having a better day. Let's not piss her off. Or I might associate her with self-pity or attention-seeking behaviours, even if that's not how she intended to come across when she wrote that post about the customer who left her negative feedback, without giving her an opportunity to resolve the problem that caused her to leave it in the first place. Like, she was just upset. And she needed her community to support her and make her feel better and tell her that she's a lovely person and one person's feedback isn't going to destroy the business that she's worked so hard to build up. But I don't see that when I see her next post. Like, if she has had a rant on social media about a particular customer or a situation that has got her back up, I automatically think of her attitude towards how she handled that situation as a business owner. This might just be my analytical brain, but this is what goes through my head. We've got to be professional and deal with these things off social media, or at least off your business account. One, because it ruins the good energy that you've got on your feed. And two, because you don't want people to feel afraid to purchase off you in case something goes wrong and you rant about them. Yeah, it puts me right off as a potential buyer. Yes, it's annoying, and you'll get a lot of things like this when you work for yourself. Get your back up, but find someone else to talk to about it. Approach the person in question directly if you can and resolve the situation. But don't post screenshots of your conversation with them on social media. I just think it's tacky and I think it's passive aggressive. I don't like it. And it's not about backing down to people who may be being unreasonable with you. No way. Like, you can still stand up for yourself, but it's about keeping it professional so it doesn't influence other people's buying decisions when they land on your page. Like I say, I'm not saying I haven't done it in the past. I have, but I won't again. If anything, what I do now is I step away from social media until I've calmed down. And then usually when I've had a few hours to think about it or I've slept on it, I've lost the anger, I've lost the ranty and sweary behaviour, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. And I move on. And I am all about wearing your heart on your sleeve when you're a business owner, but ranting about something that has annoyed you or made you feel a certain way just isn't the best move if you want to build up a good reputation. Like, yes, everyone loves a ranty post, and like I said before, it may get you more interactions and engagement than your other ones, but actually, it isn't the right kind of engagement. The comments are usually just from some random nosy people who probably agree with everything you've said, and you've entertained them for 3 minutes, amongst a sea of bland Instagram posts or someone's coffee or croissant, but that's it. They've probably got no intention of buying from you or supporting your business, so actually, they're just messing up your data. It's not real, purposeful engagement. But engagement aside, it's not good for business. So my advice is keep your rants off socials and focus on building a positive image of you and your business. So let's recap on my top 5 Instagram hates. I know that's a strong word, but I can't think of another one right now. Okay. And why you won't see me doing them. So number 1 is apologising for not being on social media. Don't apologise for anything. It doesn't rule you. It doesn't dictate how you spend your time. You show up when you can and don't feel guilty when you can't. Number 2, do something with me, those 2 words. Oh, please, God, find another way to say it. Don't lose your originality, because that is all you have when it comes to standing out in business. Number 3, I had to jump on this trend. No, you didn't. Only jump on trends that align with your business or you're going to send some confusing messages about your brand. Number 4, slide into my DMs. Oh, for the love of God, please don't use this term. You don't need a call to action like this. No one does. You need something genuine, something that feels like you and that people will connect with. Talk to your audience as you would your best mate. Be you. And last but not least, number 5. I don't usually do this, but I need a rant or I need to get something off my chest. No, you need to take a step away from the keyboard and go and do something else to get your business frustrations out. It's not a good look, and it can leave a really bad taste in people's mouths about your brand. Well, that's it. That is my rant over. I feel much better now. Hopefully, it has helped when it comes to writing your next social media content. Now, obviously, it's just my opinion, but the main take-home message from this episode today, I think, is to always keep your originality, your creativity, and your dignity when it comes to how you present yourself on and off social media. This doesn't just apply to Instagram. You are going to need all these tools when you're out there in public, stood behind your stall at a market or a craft fair. You are the face of your business, and it's more important to come across as your wonderful self to all the people that you speak to, because they're going to go home and they're going to go and check out your Instagram page if they liked you. So that's it for today. As always, if you can share this episode with someone else who you think might enjoy it, please do. I will love you forever. And if you're thinking that you need a wing woman to be here by your side and help get your business started or leveled up, let me know. I am here. I actually had Creative Business Wingwoman printed on my new business cards as my job title. Like, who says you have to have an official title anyway? I've been trying to think of one for 18 months, like what to call myself when people ask me what it is that I do. And I'm like, I don't want to call myself a mentor or a coach. It just doesn't feel like me. You know, all those dull words just didn't excite me. So I actually held off on getting my business cards done until I decided. And then one day it just popped into my head. I'm a wingwoman. Yeah, that is me. The definition of the word wingwoman is someone who assists or protects another person in an undertaking. That's it. That's me. It was between that and business mum. But I thought if I went with business mum, I was scared that people might think I'm going to look after their kids. So I thought, forget that. And I went with wingwoman. Anyway, if you want to chat, slide into my DMs. No, I'm joking. But seriously, you can message me on Instagram or email if you want to. I offer a free 30 minutes for everyone anyway. So make use of it. Come and tell me about your business and what it is you're stuck on, and I will give you tips there and then to help you. So you've got absolutely nothing to lose. And obviously, if you like me and you want some further help, then that is something that we can talk about. Okay, I am off now. But please do enjoy the rest of your week, and thank you again for listening. I'll see you next time on the Her Handmade Hustle Unplugged podcast.